So I'm having a chat with Mark of LostAlone. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Very well.
Good. You're here at 2000 Trees.
Yep.
How's your day been so far?
It's been good, yeah. We got here pretty early and it's just a nice sunny day, checking out a few bands. It's lovely, great. I love this festival, it's awesome.
Yeah, good. And you've started to release new music again. You've just released your latest single. Tell us a bit about that one, first of all.
Yeah, we started like recording some new songs and we've got quite a few down. The Final Call, basically just like a fast riffy song that we've been playing in rehearsal and we really like. So yeah, we put that out last week and yeah, people seem to like it. So
yeah, good. And it's your first new music since your new record last year.
Yeah.
Is this now gearing up towards the next release?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. The last album, obviously we had a hiatus before that. We're just really sort of enjoying kind of getting together, playing music again together. So we kind of, like Steve's really prolific like songwriter, so we kind of get through songs quite fast. So we're just keeping it going, just enjoying it. Like I said, we've already got quite a few tracks down, recorded already, so we're just going to keep going and yeah, see what happens next year. Yeah,
good. And being back on the road once again, you had the chance to do some touring, including supporting My Chemical Romance last year. How has it been being back and supporting them as well?
I mean, it was great to come back, and that was the first thing that we did. Obviously, massive shows. We've toured with those guys before, and we're good friends with them, so it was really nice when they approached us and said, we're coming back, you know, do you want to do some of the shows? And it just felt amazing. Like, it was a bit of we did one small show in Derby before the Eden project, and you're always nervous, you know, like, but at the shows with My Chem, we just felt really happy to be back. We knew that, like, there is a bit of a crossover, like the crowd sort of know our band from previous touring was My Chem.
Yeah.
So it's very warm, welcoming, and yeah, it just felt great. Really good.
Good. And you did take a hiatus for a fair few years. What was the reason behind coming back and that point?
Well, it's strange because we'd already been talking. Like, me and Steve now, we've maintained friendship, even though we don't all live in Derby anymore. We're best mates, so we're talking every week anyway. And we've just been talking about doing some new stuff. You know, we all felt at like good places in our lives. We felt happy, personally, and we were like, "Well, should we get together and get in a rehearsal room again?" And literally, just as we were talking about that, then the whole My Chem thing.
Yeah.
They approached us about it. It was a very kind of weird. Wow. Well, let's do that. That's like a great way to launch the band. But then obviously the pandemic happened. So we had to sit on that for 2 years, basically.
Yeah.
It was very frustrating for quite a while.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of the writing side, Stephen probably does most of the writing, I think. At what point do you get involved and how much input do you have on the tracks?
Basically, like, Steve tends to have like a demo quite sort of finalised to a point of like, oh, I'm happy with the structure of the song and everything. I've got rough drums and stuff. Yeah. And then we kind of like get into a room and the thing with me and Steve, we've been playing together for so many years that I kind of know what he wants and then he knows like what I like playing and stuff. So we kind of just settle into this cool thing where he's like, oh, you know, just I know you're going to do that and put that in. It's a really nice sort of fit. Like, before LostAlone got back together, I'd been playing with other people doing bits and bobs, but when we slotted back in together in the rehearsal room, it just felt like you realise like there's something special about playing with those like three people that you've played so many shows with. So it's great.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you take it into the studio, obviously the demos are done. How does it then go from a demo to a finished track? Is it all live? Is it click track?
It's weird because for this last album, because of the pandemic, we actually had to do it completely separately. We'd never recorded like that before. Normally we would be playing in the rehearsal room sort of 10 songs, like 15, 20 songs, and then we'd whittle them down to choose for an album. Then we'd all go in the studio and we'd all play, like, most of the time we sort of play like live and then we're like overdub guitars and stuff and vocals. But this was done totally different because we were in lockdown. So I could still go to the studio in Nottingham. Steve was recording in his bedroom, our recording, and then vocals were being done separately, and then so it was a very different way of doing it. And then we had Greg Wells mixing in America, we had Adam Noble mixing here, and it was brilliant. We had Ralph from Shikari. He was doing a couple of mixes.
Yeah.
So it was like kind of chucking tracks everywhere, and it was a cool process, but quite different. Because then when we came to play the songs, we hadn't actually played them together, which was really weird.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
And how do you think you're going to do it next time round? Are you going to keep it all separate? Do you think you'll do it all together, a bit of both?
Weirdly, because how well that worked, we kind of have started recording some new tracks and doing bits and bobs separately.
Yeah.
But I think ideally you always want to go, let's just go into studio for 2 weeks. But it never really works out like that sometimes. Like, we're all busy, other stuff as well, but like ultimately we feel that we can get really good results with how we're doing it at the moment. So it's a bit of both, a bit of togetherness and then a bit separate and stuff. So we'll see.
Yeah, and people want to see you live as well. What's the plan going forward and some live dates?
Well, we've got a big tour with McFly, which should be ace, coming up. That's sort of October, November. It's quite a big tour that is. And then obviously this today, and then we're basically working on some stuff, some headline stuff as well, but that's all sort of being worked in the pipeline. We're sort of concentrating on that McFly tour next, and then I'm working on like new material. So,
and you hoping to go back overseas again into Europe and the
States? I hope so. I mean, it's very different now. So when we were last touring, obviously that was pre-Brexit. So like now, from friends that are in bands and a lot of people that are going over now, it is a lot different. Like, so we used to tour a lot in Europe, and we want to get back over there. So we'll definitely try and maybe put something for next year. So we're looking into that because we love it over in Europe, and we've had some really great shows out there. So
absolutely. Well, Mark, it's been a pleasure having
a
chat with you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Cool.
Cheers.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks.